see, in the beginning, I was bleeding. That's how I found out that there was something wrong. But I thought it was my hemorrhoids. And so I messed around for like a year. And then I really was bleeding really bad, and I was starting to go to the bathroom more. But so then I ended up going, and I told doctor, and I said, I'm bleeding, and I think it's my hemorrhoids. And she said, that's weird. You got to go to the doctors, go to a hemorrhoid doctor or whatever they are. So I ended up going, over to my doctors, the surgeons, and he told me that, like, he couldn't feel anything, like in my rectum or anything, but they sent me for the colonoscopy, and then they told me right away that there was a bloody mass in my colon, and that's where all the blood was coming from. And then there was a couple lymph nodes that had the cancer in it. Well, actually, from the time I really started taking it, I just had really good results. I never, by 2 months, I don't really think there was a lot of cancer still present. Because even my doctor said, I don't really think that that there's cancer that's still in you, because, like I said, my blood work was phenomenal and everything. It just, and every time I took the shot, it stung a little bit, don't get me wrong. I put that in my reports and that. But I have never, like Dr. Smith said, a lot of times it's a walk in the park. And for me, it really was a walk in the park. And I just keep getting better and better. Now, the hernia, that was a little bump in the road. But, that wasn't caused by the cancer. That was from them operating on me, and my stomach wall was weak. And I was coughing, and I just blew it out. I had this big bump that just popped out. So the one hernia was a really good-sized hernia. And then there was another little one. So that was just repaired in my stomach wall. And like you said, I'm getting better again, And he removed them, and he didn't think they were cancers. He didn't see no cancer. Like he said, he checked my liver. My liver looked good. He didn't see any cancer. And when he took the nodules to get biopsied, they came back. They were cancer-free. So really, and with the colonoscopy, they moved a couple nodules again. They were cancer-free. The doctor that did the colonoscopy said that the colon resection, he could hardly even see where the doctor joined it together. It was all healed. And it was all grown together. So, that's what they told me, and like I said, as far as I know, is there is no cancer present. And at first, he wanted me to go get a partial colonoscopy, but I had already started the program, and I just didn't, I didn't want to go in. And then when this hernia came about, I had to go back. So that's when I had to get another full colonoscopy. But, like, the doctor that did that, like he said, he doesn't need to see me for, 3 years. Okay, it's 6 months tomorrow. That's my big celebration. But they wanted me to go for chemotherapy, and I started the BX probably right at the same time they wanted me to go for the chemotherapy. But I didn't want chemotherapy, period. That, so that's what I did. I started the BX right away, and I've been on it since, and I don't have any complaints. And I know a lot of people try the BX because they've tried everything else in the medical profession, and they don't have anywhere else to turn. And that's, it's a shame that a lot of people, when they first start out, but you know what, my doctor does have a patient. Her name's Patty, and she's already had her 6 months in she's like probably about, I think she's done in August. I'm not positive. And I know she's kept in touch with the Institute. But anyhow, to make a long story short, as I know who she is, and I did meet her down at my doctor's office. And as soon as she had breast cancer, and as soon as she found the nodule, she went and she and got it checked out. Like she said, 2 hours later, she was in her office, and she's now cancer-free also. But now she's still in the program, and she's finishing up. But it was so nice to meet a real person, you know, that had that caught it right in the beginning. Like I said, she caught it a lot earlier than I caught mine, believe me. And I know that her cancer, I know that she's cancer-free. And she's had the test, you know, like whatever x-rays or that they had to do, or scans or whatever they do to make sure she was cancer-free. But I know she's cancer-free. You know, people with cancer, almost every time you turn around, that's all you hear of anymore. You know, a lot of people I tell, you know, like my doctor, she was laughing at me because I told her, I said, you can't even imagine how many people I have told about this. And she says, yeah. And she said, and they don't always listen, do they? And I said, no, because, you know, it's just human nature, I guess. You know, the one girl, her sister, she was dying of cancer, and she had ovarian cancer for like 4.5 years. And I told her about the BX, but she wasn't sure if her sister would do it. And then she says to me, well, I really didn't want to say it to her because I didn't want her to think that I thought she was going to die. Well, 3 months later, she was dead. And, you know, that's such a shame because there is hope with that BX.